Hey, what's up, everyone out there? Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Addicted Fishing Podcast. We're back in the new studio here. If you're on our YouTube members only channel or you're on our Addicted Fishing Podcast on YouTube, thank you so much for watching these videos. As you know, we film them. We're going to do some cool stuff with the set in the background, but just we haven't had time yet.
It's good. One day it'll be more than
Looks
color is
good.
that, right?
It's blank.
Green?
It's blank.
I don't know.
It's blank.
I'm feeling more colorblind than ever lately. We got Josh in the house.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Back again.
Back
again,
again.
yeah. He's like, yeah, I haven't been in a video for like a year. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? You're in all the videos.
We're trying to convince him he's in the best one, too.
Yeah. Two of the best
Trying to
ones.
sell it to me.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, no,
You're
really.
in the-
Let me
you're
show
in the
you.
club.
You're in the crew.
You're my best friend.
You're in the crew. I didn't come last week because I was fishing.
Yeah, how's Steelhead season been for you, Josh?
Not as good as it used to be, but
You caught a
still
giant,
good. I
didn't you?
did catch a couple giants on my vacation, which was nice.
It seems like that's all you really caught was a couple of really nice fish.
Yeah.
Everyone you caught that you showed me a picture of was like fish of the year.
Giants.
Seriously.
A couple giants.
Seriously, especially the
stoked.
last one. He got a really pretty.
No,
But
definitely me
it's
and
that
Marlin
time-
talked about this too.
Yeah, it's that time of year now
I
where
know
these
where
fish
you're
are
going.
starting to show a little color. I haven't necessarily really caught any colored up fish, but the fish that you caught the other day, double stripe,
That's like
the character of the fish.
most memorable.
That's what I said earlier. If it was 6 inches, it still would have been the coolest fish I've ever seen. But no, some of the fish that we're catching lately, I still haven't seen any really colored up ones. Even you and I fished. We caught a kelp, but it was still chrome, which was really weird. March 9th, not really too early to catch a downer. A kelp, everybody, is a fish that has spawned already. It's a steelhead that's going back to the ocean, and so they tend to feed a lot on the way out, and they still fight really awesome, and they're beautiful fish, and they're healthy. But it's weird to see it in
Hey, what's
March.
crazy is I caught another one on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Another one that was
I
spawned
caught
out.
one on vacation too. Slammed a spoon. I thought it was a big fish, but ended up being this little turd. No
Mhm.
pictures because, look
Look
like a trout.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just, dude, I think it's just that early run of fish that came in, in November, December, January.
Yeah.
And then we have these later ones that come in and they literally like come in and they're spawning. Like,
Yeah.
right when they get here.
One of the nicest fish you and I caught the other day. We floated with our good friend Simung. Well, now good friend, didn't know him before.
Yeah.
But Simung came out, a fellow YouTuber, and we got him in his first steelhead ever, and then his biggest steelhead ever.
Yeah.
A very nice
Dude,
one.
that one that he got with you
It was
was
beautiful.
nice.
And just the way it went, just the setting too. Marlin was rowing. So one of the first times of my life, I was sitting with my feet up on Big Red, kick back, and like just flip my bobber out, and his was right. And Marlin goes, "Cast in front of the boat." Simung guided him right into it, and his bobber just goes about 20 feet. And I didn't see the bobber. Somebody did, but the bobber.
No,
goes
it's
down,
some monk.
and he,
Remember,
like,
he goes, my bobber's are, oh, fish. Like just your typical,
Just
like didn't
loaded
realize
up.
it was going to happen. Yeah.
And it was, but it was kind of the case of where do you want to go and catch 3 fish? Almost the whole season, We had some good days. Cameron even, I know, had a couple of really good days.
Cam got 7 today, typical legendary status.
He's never going to get less than
Legend.
7. Doesn't matter if they're cutthroat or...
The best day I had on my whole vacation was 5 fish. And I was like, yes.
That's a good day. I mean, that's a good day. The thing is we're all always chasing those like days that we remember where we hooked 12
And I
or
always
15
tell my
or-
dad that. I'm like, oh, yeah.
When
back
you
we
came
used
in,
to
we had
fish
a
this, hooked
triple.
like 12 on this river.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen anymore. But
Yeah.
I still enjoy it. It was still fun to like rewind and like just chill and actually catch fish.
Well, and you still have those mixed in, like what Jordan was saying. Like, I feel like there has been a lot of days that's like, you get 1 or you get 3 or you get 0, and then all of a sudden you get 10. And then you're back to like 2 and 3 and 1. So there's those days are still there, and I think that's what keeps you like going back every day.
I can't see why it's been like that this year, though. I'm just the last 2 seasons
Conditions
in
have actually been
particular.
really good
Last
this
year
year.
was really good. I caught a ton of... I do not know how many steelhead I caught last year.
Yeah.
With clients and stuff. Like, it was a very...
You could have that
it was
stupid
a
mentality
very
where it's
good
like
year.
1 and done.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what
Stupid.
could possibly have led to these last couple of years. It seems to me just predation. And I don't think even as adults, I just think these, like the smolts are getting
dude,
killed or
I
something.
don't think it's that at all. I
And
think that
that's
the
the only
fish
reason
are
why-
late.
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
late.
look
How
at the fish you
late?
just got the other day. It was
They've been
brand new.
coming
I just
back-
blanked yesterday
Dude,
on my very favorite
on
river.
our
that
river-
I'm jonesing to get to.
Dude, on our river that we fish every day that I fished my entire life, they close it every year on March 15th. If you go watch the falls on April like 16th, there is hundreds of fish jumping that thing every single day. They don't show up, dude. They show up so much later than what we are used to. And a lot of it's because we've eliminated all these hatchery fish. So we've eliminated all those
And the
early
ones we
return
have are
fish.
brood stock.
And the ones that are left are these natural returning later stock fish. And they close the rivers and we can't fish them.
And we're spring fishing.
It's a spring steelhead season, just like almost in Alaska.
Just like Alaska.
Yeah.
Just like all those rivers. Like the fish are going back to how they used to be here. And it's frustrating because I've been talking to Cam about it. Like, why don't they change some of our seasons? Like, why don't they leave some of these rivers open till
That's
March
been my
31st?
idea from the first year I ever fished in Washington, and I saw what was going on, and that was literally 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And my first opinion of it was they need to change the season because they let people.
Cam said it's impact,
right?
But that's what he said it is, right? So, like in the early season, there's only a little bit of fish, so you're not touching very many fish. You're not impacting them very many because there's not that many to even touch. If they let you fish right in the bulk of the season when all the fish are showing up, you're going to impact a lot more fish, which is then going to hurt the fisheries, what they claim, which is completely idiotic because we know that doesn't happen to fish.
Catch and release fishing is much less impactful than
Alaska trout fishing, for example.
Oh man,
some of those fish literally have zero freaking mouths even left on their faces because they've been caught 200 times and they're still alive and completely healthy and still fighting just as hard as the first time.
I'm not saying their face needs to be all messed up. Let's
no,
not let
but
anybody out there get that opinion. But the fact is, it just shows the resilience of the species.
What I'm saying is, you saw a lot of those fish there that looked like they had been hooked a lot of times, and what I was using that as a point of is like, obviously, you can catch and release fish, and it doesn't affect them.
It's being shown on some rivers in Russia. In the Atlantic Salmon Preserve, there's a couple of lodges on the Yangtze and a couple of different rivers up there. They're Atlantic Salmon Preserves, and it's fly fishing only. They're basically the entire stretches of the river are in this refuge where only a couple lodges have access to, and the guides actually conduct the science survey on these fish and tag every single one. And they've like completely destroyed any of these steelhead survey and these studies that have been done in the Pacific Northwest, completely destroyed the idea of impact from catch and release fishing. Most of the fish there was getting caught 4 to 5 times and still successfully spawning. In the fall.
We have our own studies going right here and look at any
fly rods, which was proven in a study from Idaho to be higher mortality rate and more detrimental on the fish when being caught.
Long it takes to catch.
Long to catch, and then the time handling.
It's pretty crazy and ballsy of Idaho Fish and Game, but if the data's there and the data and the research there, that's pretty insane to think that there is now a study and science that says hooking and landing those fish on a fly rod is actually increases the mortality rate versus us with a spinning rod. 37%.
Yeah.
How much more tired those fish are.
So one of my favorite
way harder to land them on those.
And one person I hope to fish with more than anybody in the future is Captain Quinn. And he did this deal the other day on what he said. He did a video on if catch and release was bad, and he said 1 in 10 die. And I'm like, there's no way. And I respect the guy to the ends of the earth, but that statistic was way too high for me. I want to say 1 in 50.
He's going off data though that is the current data that's out there that's like been public for 50 years. Yeah. That's what they claim.
Yeah,
is our mortality rate. That's what they say.
I've never heard a lot of people throw any numbers around. That's why I use him as an example. And I know he's an incredible fisherman and conservationist. But I think I would say like 1 in 50, 1 in 100 maybe. If I killed 2 steelhead this season, 3. On catch and release basis, other than killing hatchery fish, I'd say I might have killed 2. Might have, where I let him go and I was like, oh, that fish was bleeding or something was wrong with it to where I felt bad, but I still guarantee it survived. I would put money on it.
The way we fish nowadays versus what you're talking about like 50 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's different.
We fish jigs, we fish worms.
Not only, dude, and
none of that stuff gets gutted.
We our steelhead anglers nowadays they've come so much further than what they used to be back in those days. I mean, everyone used treble hooks, freaking big old barb. Like the way you fished for the fish were so different than what it is now. Those guys didn't care. They didn't. They thought that the fish were invincible, that they could do anything to them and they were going to live. And it's just not the case. But we have proven now as steelhead anglers, and I think us as Addicted and all you followers out there, we've done a good job as a team to like show people that like we can take care of these fish. We can, practice, safe handling, safe releasing of them, using the landing nets, not dragging them up on the bank, not smashing their heads on the rocks. And because we do that stuff, they don't have near as a high mortality rate.
I think me and Marlin both talked about this a lot, and it was kind of. I got approached by a representative, basically from a certain style of fishery, and decided to have a sit down and like really kind of hash some stuff out with that person. And she said to me, "What have you done for wild steelhead?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Man, I've done more for I've been doing this for 25 years, and what have you done for wild steelhead?" And I said, "Have you ever made a video about how to properly handle them, or talked about the importance of safe practice, or this?" And she thinks that our videos are ruining wild steelhead fishing and killing them, but we've done more for wild steelhead out of the aspect of education and advocacy than anybody has in a long time. Other than these big advocacy groups, any social media group, nobody stands for the fish and like takes their time to go out
Not
and,
like we
It's
do.
been a
and like
long
talk
time.
about how to handle it and like make fun of people who don't handle it. Like you would be embarrassed to have somebody post. You can't post a picture of you holding a native by gills on the internet anymore.
Where has that
Thanks
come
to
from?
groups
That's what
like
I was going to
Addicted.
say. It's been a long time since
There's
you've
a
seen
couple
a
other
fish
groups, but
covered
still.
in sand
Yeah.
or anything like that anymore.
You're just gonna get and like that's
No, and
more-
I
just
would
get
100%
flamed.
exactly,
I'm
Josh.
proud to say that.
I would 100% stand by that, Jordan. I think, that's been a huge practice that we've preached. People, a lot of times we get these haters out there and we get these people kind of saying that what do you do for the fishery? It's like, I want to look at that lady and be like, what in the hell have you done for this fishery? What have you done for wild steelhead?
Promoted one
You're
and
doing
done.
the exact same thing that you're claiming is bad that we do. You're exploiting the fishery.
Yeah.
You own a business that if you don't catch steelhead, your business doesn't survive. You're doing the same thing that you're mad at us for saying we do, but what have you actually done? Yeah, you've done studies and you've done these things for your own specific river, but we're influencing hundreds of thousands of anglers, literally hundreds of thousands, and we're changing the way they think about wild steelhead.
You used to be able to kill them, and not even have to tag them. 30 years ago, not even our lifetime
really
ago.
not even that long ago.
Yeah,
every video we put out, every single thing that we preach is about protecting and taking care of and cherishing these fish. And we are teaching future generations to do that. Previous generations, unfortunately, they didn't do that, but they didn't know. They didn't understand what could happen to the fish.
Some of the issues that we're facing now.
No, yeah, we're facing a lot different issues.
The
The other thing that we're doing that I feel like is extremely huge for wild steelhead is we're educating people that you don't have to kill every single thing you catch.
Yeah.
We as Addicted
that are that keep you enjoying your food and appreciating your catch.
Yeah. And we do catch and cooks and stuff, but when it comes to steelhead, we go out and we make these videos that are about just like being out there and having fun in the wild and catching these fish. And yeah, we want to catch a lot of them. Who doesn't? Some of these people themselves have said we used to catch 20, What happened to that? It should be okay if you want to catch 20. Who cares? As long as you're practicing safe handling and you're taking care of these fish, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Even my dad, he's 60, 62, 63, whatever. He could not stand when we would go steelhead fishing to see me release a fish. He hated it. But now, his attitude has changed. He gets just as excited when I catch a fish to watch it get released.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the attitude has changed.
The mentality's changed,
it used
right?
to be rape and pillage. Let's kill as many fish as we possibly.
Exactly. And I feel like, again, I'm really glad you brought that up, Jordan. I know that this podcast has kind of been all over the place, but I'm glad we kind of spoke to that.
It's the state of the fishery almost. I like it.
Well, I'm glad that you spoke about that because we don't talk about it enough. We kind of just naturally do those things in our video content, but we don't actually come out and say, hey, here is what we've done for wild steelhead. And so I'm glad that you brought that up and talked about it. We literally create a net that we make practically zero profit on for one purpose and one purpose only, to educate anglers on how to safely handle and release steelhead. These are handmade. We make literally barely any margin when it's all said and done, for one reason only: to protect and teach people how to handle wild steelhead. So any of the naysayers out there that say otherwise need to...
The little doesn't ever actually bite him, everybody.
Seriously, pull your head out.
He's just giving him a sniff.
He does.
He little just gives him a kiss.
He doesn't actually bite him.
Gives him some love.
And mind you, the
He's
thing
just
has a
play-biting.
sea lion scar down the side.
Part of the hate that I see come from a lot of that stuff, Jordan, and even that person that you were...
I don't like when he bites him either.
That person that you were talking about in general, it's so funny because it's they're just upset that we're like fishing somewhere that they like think they own or something. Like that's what a lot of that comes from. Like when I get the hate from people, it's like, well, I fished this river for 35 years and I've never seen this many people on it. I'm like, okay, dude. So for 35 years, you've enjoyed a fishery that was absolutely amazing. Let's let someone else enjoy it. That's my mindset. Like, I don't care. Like,
it's public land, so it should
it's
be your mindset.
public access. A lot of
We've
these
already
areas
lost
are
access to a lot of public land, especially I've never seen it more dramatic than in Washington State. There's no more public land. Like
we
I
have
remember
rivers. We
listening
have
to you yell at your wife on the phone because she didn't get the permit thing dialed in 30 seconds after it was posted. Like that's the world we live in now.
And that permit, dude, there's entire
insane.
river systems that get all sorts of steelhead behind those permit areas that you can't even fish.
Soon.
You can't even fish.
It's not going to be $500. It's going to be 10 grand, and that's how fishing's going to be if we don't actually listen to people that are educated, like Cameron and like these groups that are slowly progressing and building, and kind of make a stand for it. Because I think a lot of it is these big companies who own these land masses, and the power companies and so on and so forth. That's their money that pays for the fish because they're making money from the dam.
But dude, you say that a lot, Jordan, but there is a lot of money that goes to the state of Washington and the state of Oregon and the state of California for one thing and for one thing only, fishing.
Yeah.
Period. Like they get all sorts of budget. How do you think they pay for WDFW employees? Like they get a lot of budget, and a lot of these states, like they understand that managing fisheries correctly will bring revenue to the state. I mean, look at Alaska. That's how they manage their fisheries. It's like they want to bring sport fishermen to the fishery. So I agree. Yeah. There's a lot of those groups out there, Jordan, that don't necessarily care about fish and they don't care about steelhead. And they care more about like development and big business and power.
Dollar.
And I get it. There's a lot of them out there, but as long as we have guys like Colt that are young dudes getting into the sport and all these new people that we're influencing that continue to carry on the tradition of fishing, and we all stand together to protect it, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's too massive. I mean, you look at fishing just take fishing on a YouTube scale. Fishing is one of the biggest categories on YouTube. That's why people will get nervous like, oh, they're going to get rid of fishing just like they're doing it. No, they won't. It makes them too much money, like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, think about how many YouTube channels are that are fishing channels. You know, fishing is a huge thing. It's in our heritage. Yeah, it's a dying thing, but I think that's why groups like us are so important.
Truly, though, it isn't. There's more people right now fishing. You told me this the other day.
Yeah,
that's apparent.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, and that's the other thing people don't understand.
People are talking about, the rivers are so busy. Well, yeah.
When you shut down every single movie theater, every restaurant, everything, people go, oh, well, what can I do? I can go fishing. Yeah. And it starts wanting them to get more people into the sport.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I had that week off, and I fished, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, Monday through Friday, like, cool. I'm going to be like, pretty much have this all to myself. No,
not anymore.
Not
dude.
the case anymore.
No.
You go on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday, I saw like 20 people on the river, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, I floated a river on Tuesday, and there was 2 other boats with us, and we ran into like 12 bank anglers on a river that normally does not have that many.
In the middle of the week.
On a Tuesday. But again, like for me, I loved it. Like we helped a guy land his fish. We pulled over to the side of the thing, landed it with the landing net for him.
You caught yours?
Me and Phil both got 4 fish. It was a great trip. Like I didn't mind seeing the people. Yeah. Are there times when I'm like, man, this sucks? There's a lot of guys on here. Absolutely. All of us anglers do that, which is part of the reason we say no river names. That's why we have that slogan, because we love to teach anglers and advocate for the fisheries, but we're not going to hold your hand and show you all the special spots.
We're not fun for you by telling you where to go.
Yeah. You got to learn that on your own. You got to learn that on your own. And the other thing is a lot of these guys that bring us and invite us to these fisheries and stuff, like they've been fishing them for a long time. So we try to respect them, and I hope people see that. I know a lot of the logical people out there see it. A lot of the guys out there that are just idiot keyboard warriors are never going to see it, and I don't care because we'll never win those dudes over.
No.
There's some battles you won't win.
Yeah.
They have to be there.
Yeah, they have to.
You got to have them.
The good can exist.
Not everybody can love you.
Anyway, we got to start wrapping this up, but quickly we got to talk. So your season was good then, though, Josh. You caught some fish. You caught some big ones.
For as much time as I put in, I'd say it was good.
Yeah, and you kind of timed it at the right part.
The quality of the fish, insane. And I timed it right because the water was dialed that whole week.
And that's the one thing I noticed this year is all the fish are big. Yeah, we got good quality fish this year for sure. It seems like a lot of 3 and 4 year fish. What about you, Jordan? How's your season?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
All over the place.
We still probably got a month left of it, really.
Yeah,
but
I got a
realistically, yeah.
lot of work ahead of me still, so we'll see what this. We'll see if you're right about them showing up late.
yeah.
But you know, got the biggest 3 of the biggest fish I've ever got in my life this year, so can't complain there.
Future YouTube video coming, folks,
I know
of Jordan's PB Steelhead.
Yeah, and then it had some awesome trips with clients. A lot of first Steelhead ever. It's been a good
Samong's
year.
first Steelhead ever.
A lot, man. Most of the trips this year were people catching their first ones ever.
If you guys don't know that, we did a little YouTube collab with Samong Yang Outdoors. He's a YouTuber up here in Washington. He came down and caught his first steelhead with us, so that was pretty awesome.
You have, on the other hand, have had a fair to Midland Steelhead season so far.
It's been
It's not one of the best ones I've ever had. But
No, it's the thing is
in
with-
general,
He's too
he's just been
busy.
getting screwed constantly.
when I'm with Jordan,
yeah.
when I'm with Jordan, I have not been having a good steelhead season. But like the week before we went to Michigan, I was catching 2 to 3 fish every day,
Yeah.
every single day, and big ones. Yeah, that big hen with Colt, like that when it snowed, when it snowed. And that whole week before we went to Michigan, I was literally leaving work early and going every single day and was catching fish every day.
That was perfect. Best case
And
scenario.
big ones. And that's why I was sad that, well, for one, I was like, damn, I didn't even kind of want to go to Michigan because I was doing so good on my local river. But the other thing was, like, when I came back, I was super pumped to fish the river again, and they weren't around anymore. The fish were kind of gone. So hopefully over the next few days, when the rivers continue to get lower and lower, it'll start stacking them up and we'll have some
They're
opportunity
getting down there already.
to do some beat downs.
Well, nonetheless, Springer's on the rise, guys. So let's tune in next week for a Springer. I'm sure it'll be a Springer podcast of some sort. We'll have some
I'm
guests
not
in here
ready.
talking about Springers, and I thought that's where you'd be this week.
I usually am, but I'm
Yeah.
not ready yet.
Not
Josh
yet.
ain't ready yet.
Because I fished steelhead so late in the season. Like I'm ready to steelhead fish more.
Yeah, but we got some salmon episodes coming. We got some
Springers are
Springer
coming.
episodes coming. We're going to be doing all sorts of new podcasts in the future. So make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you turn on the bell if you're on YouTube or wherever you may be watching this, Spotify, all the different platforms. We appreciate everyone. We'll see you on the river.
See you guys.